Hey, what's up guys, it's Levi, and welcome back to another video. Now, this is probably going to look a little bit different from the usual style videos you see. Usually when you see me in a Discord like this, it's probably the podcast, or it's me goofing off with Gabe and Brendan, which is basically just the podcast. But I want to talk about something a little different today, something a little closer to home. Let me just check and make sure that, yeah, this is running. Okay, cool. So as I'm sure, based on the title of this, which I have no idea what I'm even going to title this yet. I have been thinking about. Yeah, I'm just going to swap my deal to make the lighting a little bit better. There we go. Yeah. That's going to be better. Destiny 2 is coming to a close, so I'm sure it's no. Oh God, no. I'm sure it's no surprise. Every end is a new beginning. Where does it say? June 9th, 2026, we will release the final live service content update for Destiny 2. And it is currently the 23rd of May that I'm recording this, meaning I have 2 weeks, basically, until Destiny's last big update comes out. Now, I could take a lot of time to go over all the big updates that they're doing, whether that be the new Pantheon, the sandbox changes, the Sparrow Racing League that they're adding. My thoughts are pretty standard on that, and I'm pretty sure we'll talk about it on the podcast here in this upcoming week. But also, apologies about missing it this last week. Gabe was moving to his new place that he's living, so he wasn't able to participate. So we just kind of ditched the whole thing. But yeah, we'll likely get into that at a different time. I'm happy about all the changes. I really am. But I'm heartbroken that the game is leaving. And while I want this to be, I would love to go in depth and talk about all my feelings, but I feel like that's going to be the podcast on Tuesday or on Wednesday. It's just going to be us talking about Destiny. I don't think we're going to have a topic. And I'm probably going to talk with the guys and just say, hey, we should just talk about how we feel about Destiny coming to a close. I mean, seriously. So for those who don't know, for those who do know, or I doubt that this will find a large group of people, this video, but I'm hoping that it finds at least some. It finds an audience. And ultimately what I'm gonna say is that for those who don't or do know me, Destiny is a huge part of my gaming career. So if you come look, my background is literally Oryx. I'll open my creator studio. My background is literally Oryx above Crota. And my deal is my main Titan. Right? My guy with Sweet Business, Forbearance, and Apex Predator, wearing my iconic drip. This is the look that I've had for forever. These are 3 of my favorite weapons in the game. It's a lot, right? If I go to my content, Trail Vault of Glass. This is Once Human. God, Jesus Christ. Actually, we should just go to. Hang on. If I just go back to my main channel, we'll go live. Destiny. Here's some Subnautica. Maybe Master of Vault of Glass. Subnautica 2. Destiny. I played some BGG 6 here, but there was a lot of farming rage stuff. Destiny. Marathons. Yep. Destiny. Helldivers. Destiny. I mean, if you get the picture, there's some other stuff sprinkled in here, you know. But Destiny is trash, so other games. I mean, look what I ended up doing. I ended up playing Destiny 2 anyways. I barely even played other games. God. I mean, seriously, look at all this. Yeah, this is when I was trying to get the soundboard mixer for my deal going, so I could listen to music while I was streaming, but I just couldn't get it. And now I'm back to Galaxy of Heroes, and like Day 1 dungeon race. Day 1 dungeon race. I mean, this was only 16 seconds contest part 2. Messing around in Destiny 2. I know it shows other things. It shows the ending here where I go to Galaxy of Heroes, but look at this. Look at Destiny 2. Like, here's some GTFO. But like, so for those who don't know, this game is incredibly important to me. I love this game. If I go to my videos, I don't have a lot, but there's a video. I think this is Brent. No, this is my POV. It is. I really should have tried to continue playing this game, but I just couldn't get into it. Sweet Bit, you know. There's games that I did with Sweet Business, and I know these are all a year ago, and so it's quite a while ago. But look, there's the I Have All the Buddies, Crota's End with 20 resilience. That's funny. Copying enemy loadouts, Iron Banner, Gabe. You know, we got some Phasmophobia, some Age of Vampires to chase. There's a lot of the Forest here, Slender, but God, GTFO again. I should really get back into that game. And this is all, I'm pretty sure, before I really got into Destiny, so maybe not. Maybe it was. I don't really remember. But regardless, this was definitely before I got into Destiny. But look, God, this is back when I just recorded things and would just upload 2-hour videos like a freak. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I have the site muted. God, I look like a baby then. Regardless. Anyways, my point is that I think Cold Sun is still my most popular, followed by we're making a movie. Regardless, my point is still that Destiny is an incredibly important game to me and to my friend group. And when I say my friend group, I really mean Brendan and Gabe. And I kind of talked with Brendan a little bit about this, and while he's sad that Destiny 2 is ending, he's sad that the game that brought Gabe, he, and I together is ending, right? Like I still hung out with Brendan a little bit, and we still played games together. We'd probably play BTD 6, maybe Wizard 101, maybe other games. Gabe and I would play Helldivers together, but all three of us wouldn't play together. And so the game that brought all three of us together, and I'm not going to get too much into the story of Destiny 2 for me, but effectively it was, Gabe was someone who was, Gabe and I were right next to each other in the dorms, our freshman year of college, and we ended up playing the game because of another friend we had named Gabe, and then we ended up joining the raid group that the other two Gabes were with, and I ended up becoming part of that group, and I love playing with Drew, Chasing Christina. They're fantastic people. Even the other people who don't play with as much, Silver's a great person. I love talking with Steven, even though he's crazy as hell. Like, I love him to death, and I wouldn't trade any of the time that I've spent with them for the world, right? They're incredibly important in my lives. Even though I've never met them, and honestly, all I really know them through is playing Destiny 2. I mean, you know, it's so rough, man. I'm trying not to, like, cry right now. I've done a lot of it already, and, like obviously it's totally okay to do that and to be, like, upset and emotional about it, but trying to record a video here, I can't, you know. It's difficult because I've spent so much time into this Destiny game. I'm a Lightfall player. I started playing... I realistically say that my first real day of playing Destiny 2 was the last day of Season of Defiance. I really got into the game in Season of the Deep, and that first really started the last day of Season of Defiance because I was trying to get good weapons the last day of Season of Defiance so I could go into the new season of the Season of the Deep to play it. Now, I don't exactly know the timeline in which things went down, but realistically, that's kind of what I peg myself as. I really started playing Destiny 2 last day of Season of Defiance, but I played Season of the Deep. I played so much of that. I loved Season of the Deep, and I know a lot of people hated the underwater sections. A lot of people hated Ghosts of the Deep, and a lot of people weren't the biggest fan. And the story, I didn't really care about, but I really enjoyed that. I have very fond memories of that time. Right, it was when I was first getting into Destiny, when I was first doing raids, when I was first doing those experiences, and when Season of the Witch came out. Oh my god, I played the shit out of that. But, sorry, I detracted from what I was getting to. That Brendan is sad because it's a game that we met Gabe through because of Crota's End. Our other Gabe, if you watched the stream way back when, the other Gabe, not the one that we do the podcast with, but the other Gabe that I occasionally still play some games with, in the middle of second encounter of Crota's End contest mode, he left. He ditched us. And Brendan said, I want to be able to do that. Well, we got in the game. I bought him one of the expansions, and then because of like power constriction reasons, and he hadn't done some of the quests and stuff, he couldn't. So we ended up having an LFG. But Brendan was watching my stream the whole time, and I will forever thank him for that. Great support. But then he started playing the game with Gabe and I. That became our core trio. Was Gabe, Brendan, and I, and then there was Drew, Trace, and Christina, and we were one big fire team of 6. And outside of that, I'm not going to get too much into the backstory of why of Destiny for me. That is way too much time. I want this to realistically be not much more than like a 20-minute video. I kind of want this to be just kind of a quick overview of thoughts, and then a request, which we'll get to kind of at the end. But if you look, Destiny has been taking a hit on everybody. I mean, look at this. Like literally, this is, I open up my YouTube and I see this. This is the first thing I see. I'm so heartbroken. The end of Destiny seems like a nightmare. Like, and there's, you know, if I go to some of my my subscriptions, I've been watching a lot of Astrocross lately. It's not like a good way, but like, yeah. Boom. I mean, look at that. There's Clyde's deal. There's more of that. I watched this earlier. There's this, obviously, right? Like end of Destiny 2. Like this, I watched this video earlier today, and this shit rocked me, because up until recently, I don't know if many of you had seen the or I guess it was videos. I watched it live, but Goodbye Destiny 2. If you watch this, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I think Bungie. Let's see.
But I think Bungie is potentially about to talk to us. Destiny 2.
I don't want to get my hopes up too much, but I think Destiny is about to talk, or Bungie's about to talk to us. I mean, yeah, like I said, it's just, yep, and there it stays at the top. And like I said, this is heartbreaking, because again, I've spent countless hours in Destiny 2. I've spent so much time just being in the game. It's such a beautiful game, and honestly, there's no game that can replace it. There really isn't. I actually ended up, the day before Bungie announced this, I ended up picking up I now have a PlayStation 4 and a copy of Destiny 1 sitting at my house in Cheyenne for when I moved back. I asked my dad to pick one up at the store for me, and I'd pay him back. And then they announced it the next day. And again, as you can see, pretty big Destiny fan. I got Gabe left these here. These were his. This was his, but it's of the original like tower, and you can see the trap. How's my finger work? The Traveler there, and you can see the last city there. But he left these, and I'm taking these. I'm taking these with me. You can see my igneous hammer in the back. I mean, I know that I don't have a lot of Destiny 2 memorabilia. I mean, but again, just for my YouTube channel alone, you can see that it's Destiny. I play a lot of Destiny. I love that game. I'm pretty sure on my Steam. Here, let me... Yes. I got my Steam. I'm pretty sure it's my most played game hours-wise. Come on, it's booting up. We'll come back over here. It's hard, because at first... Oh, yep. I'm not advertising anything. Go away. Well, played 4,000 hours of Destiny, and like I said, I started playing Lightfall. Even other games that I played a lot of, not even 1,000 hours. Not barely 100 hours. I mean, I played a lot of games. Right? Like, I don't think I've hardly played any of BTD Battles or 2. Yeah. Doom is another one that's like, I played a lot of Doom the Dark Ages, but it's like just none of these things, even 18 hours of the Forest, and I have Helldivers. I don't even have 100 hours in Helldivers. Marathon, boom, 14 hours in Marathon. I mean, Jesus Christ, like, the things they say, the Spire, I've got 50 hours in that game. Subnautica 2 just came out. It's nice. 6.9 hours. Uno. Right, like, I've played so many games. This is insane for just, like, just to have casually 4,000 hours in a game. Now, Dungeon Siege, I'll give a little bit of credit to. I played on a disc a lot when I was a kid, so I played a lot more of that one. And Age of Empires, played that on a disc as well. But it's still, nothing comes close to the amount of time I've invested in Minecraft. The only game I don't even think this game comes close is that I could realistically think that I've sunk that much time into. Maybe is Minecraft over the course of the length of time that I've had it. But I had an Xbox 360 with Minecraft on it from when I was a lot younger. I've had it on all my computers, and I occasionally play with friends. But I don't even think that can describe the lengths to which I played Destiny. And I've had some people who have been like, oh, and I've seen comments on other people's videos, and I don't want to attack them personally, that are like, oh, just go find another game, just go play another game, go play Marathon, go do this, go do that, go do. You're right, but it's not the same. And this probably isn't gonna hit for everybody who hears this, but this game was my game, right? This was my thing, right? You remember when you were a kid and you had your toy specifically, and that toy broke, and you lost it, or the dog ate your stuffed animal, like the thing that was your, and it was devastating. It was heartbreaking because it was yours, and you loved it. It's kind of what's going on right now. Is not to get into too much detail about who I blame or whose fault it is. There's a lot of things I can point fingers at. There's a lot of directions I can go to. I'm not here to do that today. Maybe another time. Maybe on the podcast, but not in this video. This video I want to mostly be I want to end this on a very positive note, and like I said, a request. But this is my game. Destiny 2 is my game, and so even when it's gone, I know I'm gonna have friends who are gonna uninstall it, who are gonna stop playing it in the entirety, and I'm not going to. I know for a fact I'm going to be one of the last people on these servers because I can't not play it. I go a week without playing, and then I'm just like, God, I want to hop back in and play. Right? Brendan pointed this out in when he and I were. I can't remember if I was even streaming, but maybe I was. But he was like, no, it wasn't. But he was talking with me that, I get really frustrated when I like want to raid with our group, and our group goes, yeah, we can raid, or maybe we can, and they don't get on. I get pissed off. I get super mad when day one raids were coming up and stuff, and people weren't getting on to prepare. I got frustrated because I love this game and I wanted to enjoy all of it. And I know that I could have, right? I know that if I had found another fire team, if I had left for a better group who was more dedicated to endgame content, I absolutely could have. I know that I had more than enough capabilities to do whatever I wanted to in this game, but I didn't want to because I wanted to enjoy the game with my friends more than anything. And I always thought that maybe I'll get another opportunity. And now I don't get that. And in a way, that's good and bad, because obviously I'm still going to play the game, right? When Pantheon 2.0 comes back out, you know for a fact that I'm hopping on with Drew, Chase, Christina, Brendan, and Gabe, and we're going toe to toe with those bosses, and I'm going to crank damage and be lost as fuck on mechanics, right? Oh. But it's sad because it's bittersweet is how everyone's described it, and I give them some props for using that word because I understand what they mean. It's going to be a beautiful send-off. I mean, even just looking at this TWAB, there are so many things, and this is just the overview, right? We'll dive a bit deeper into each of the subjects. There are a mix of developer inside articles and twid updates. We're spreading things out a bit to avoid massive walls of text and information overload while giving our teams some last-minute tuning and testing. Like, they are, we're coming back to a beautiful to a beautiful destinations and not the ugly portal. I mean, look at this Pantheon, Callus, Galron, and I can't remember which one this is, but it's Agrarios, maybe, I think it is. Maybe, I don't remember. Obviously, I'm a LFO player, I don't remember. New aspects, new, Bubble Titan's getting a rework. We're getting exotic catalysts, exotic tunings, the portal overhaul. We're getting, like weapon seasonal events are being retired, but you can get more stuff. We're getting engram focusing. I mean, it's beautiful. It's great. It's a fantastic send off to Destiny. And I'd rather, and a lot of people I should say would rather them have a beautiful send off to Destiny like this than continue their terrible episodic content like like their new their new campaign, which is like the Renegades, and that was fine, but a lot of people weren't still a fan of like the story necessarily. And oh god, what was the one previous to the Edge of Fate? Everyone hated Edge of Fate, and I kind of was with them. I couldn't give two shits about Edge of Fate. Right, I was there for the raid and to get the mint retrograde, and that's kind of it. But like, I don't know. It's and so people are like, I'd rather you send off the game in a good spot than the player population continue to decline. And to that point, I say valid. That's totally fair. How long is this video, by the way? Okay, we're getting to the 20-ish minute mark, or the 20-minute mark, so that's fine. we're still. It might be a little bit longer than I thought, maybe 25 minutes, and that's fine. But I understand what people want. They're happy that the door is closing, but it's sad that it's closing on a high point, probably. And I'm going to get to that specifically, but it's also sad that it is ending because some people like me, regardless of how good, bad, or otherwise the content is, I'm still getting on to play. I'll find something to do because I love it. And so it's sad. So for me, I'm just sad. I'm not like, I'm happy that Pantheon's coming back. I'm happy that a lot of things are getting exotic. I'm happy to see all of the changes that are in here, except for the last live service update. If the whole rest of the article was just that, I would give it 5 stars. I'd thumbs up. I mean, seriously. And while a lot of people were theorizing about Destiny 2, or Destiny 3, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case with a bunch of layoffs that are happening at Bungie. I don't know the full details on it. Again, I would go check out Paul Tassie's videos on that, or if you want to see someone like kind of go in depth a little bit more on what Tassie is saying. I watched the Astrocross one earlier today. I think he does a good job of breaking it down and like having very valid emotions and stuff. But actually, before I get into that, so ultimately, what I want to say is I'm very sad about the state of what's happening. I understand why Destiny's been slowly declining, and I think there were two. And here's what I'll say to Bungie employees or whoever's in charge or Sony or whatever. If you are making a Destiny 3, by any stretch of the imagination, there were 2 perfect times, and you'll have 1/3 opportunity window for it to be perfect. Number 1, you missed by a mile. Final Shape. I don't know why you kept going after Final Shape. I really don't. That was silly of you. And I know that you didn't want to pay money for a D3 because of reasons. Not going to get into that, but you didn't want to. I think that was silly of you. You should have had at the very end. Thank you all so much for joining us along this amazing adventure. We'll continue to do some updates here and there, but until we do anything further about Destiny, we'll see you in the Stars Guardians. Number 2 was in this previous tweet, the one that I pulled up here. This, or even this. Once we have more news to share on Destiny, you'll be the first to know. Yeah, realistically, that was probably your next best time, and your only other opportunity that is going to be realistically relevant for players of Destiny is going to be June 9th. Whether that be whether that be a twid that day or it comes out on that Thursday, that's your last opportunity. There's a huge what is it, change.org or whatever it is, that there's like a petition to have Sony make Destiny 3. I signed it because I would love a Destiny 3. It's up to 88.9 thousand signatures and counting every second. I mean, I see things that are like people signed 8 seconds ago, people signed 5 seconds ago, right? Like there's tons of people, and so not that I think it's going to do much of anything, but there's always a hope. There's always a prayer. If you wanted Destiny 3, I would probably recommend just signing it it doesn't ask for any personal information. I mean, it asks for like your email is your most personal information. I would go do that, but I don't think that it's going to make one difference one way or the other. What I actually think will make a difference, and this is kind of what I want to get into with the request is player count, and specifically during the send off. So the one small request, so I know that I've been going on a little bit longer than I was hoping. I was expecting this to be around 22 minutes. It's probably going to be around 27, 28, but and it's going to be some just me rambling, and I do apologize about that, but the biggest way we can send a message that we still care about this game and still would love more is on June 9th. Everyone get on. Whether you've been a fan of Destiny 2 in the past, or not necessarily actually, regardless of if you've been a fan of Destiny 2 in the past, if you've been a fan of Destiny at any point along the way, hop on. Hop on, experience the game. Whether you hop on for an hour, whether you hop on for every day of the week, whether you're on for the rest of the month with people, with psychopaths like me, doesn't matter. Hop on, please. If you've ever cared about Destiny, if you still care about Destiny, if you have any hopes and prayers for a Destiny 3 or any other Destiny spin-offs, this is the time. Part of what I think the problem was, and let me go to let me see if this is around. Yeah. All time. So, as you can see, the peak of all Destiny playing was right here, 316,000 players. This is Lightfall. This is Lightfall release. The concurrent, the most recent peak is 314,000 players, and we're down here in the 16,000s. Now, while our average spike doesn't really go much above 100-ish thousand, 115, 116,000, this is a monument to beat, 300,000 players. But as you see, there are peaks like 280,000, 240,000, 213,000. Anything above the 200,000 radius is pretty well notable for this. What I'm asking for anyone who's watching this, if you have ever cared about Destiny players, ever, if you've ever cared about the game, if you've ever cared about the developers, the people that are supporting it, if you've ever cared about anything Destiny related, I ask that you on June 9th, hop on. Whether it be June 9th or the 10th or any time during this monument of triumph, I ask that you just hop on. Hop on, be a part of the experience, say goodbye to the game, right? Because I know a lot of people. I've got friends who used to play. Gabe S was one of them, the other Gabe that left during Curtis, and I'll ask him. I'm gonna ask him to hop on, and he's gonna go, no, I don't think I'm gonna. I'm gonna ask Noah, who hasn't played in a long time, and he's probably gonna say no. I'm not gonna. I don't really care, but I'm gonna ask, and I'm asking everyone. Just hop on. You don't have to run through all the content. You don't have to do all the things, but just be there for the game. Just to kind of say goodbye. Because I think, honestly, more than a petition is going to do, this will do something. Or heck, even this. Honestly, that would. Or this would. These will all do something. And if Sony's ever going to take something away from this, if they're ever going to look at a Destiny 3, they're not going to do it if the Destiny player count is 16,000 weekly. They're going to look at it if they see, wow, we're saying goodbye to the game, and 200,000 people hopped on to play. Again, I'm not asking you to take time out of your lives to go play all the Pantheons and do the new onslaughts and do Sparrow Racing League competitively and hop back into the crew. I don't care. My only ask is that I would love if everyone... Does everyone remember back before Final Shape when the voice actor for Zavala died? And everyone went and stood by his by Commander Zavala in the tower until Final Shape as like a send off to his character. do that, but for Destiny. I know that Destiny is not as important as a person for most people, but for some it might be. But regardless, that's it. Just hop on, do something fun with friends one more time. Go sit at your favorite location one more time. Honestly, I think when I on the final week of like when they fully announce it, I think I'm gonna go do the dumbest thing of all time, and I'm gonna go solo a Grandmaster Excision, or maybe I'll get friends to help me out, so I can just sit in that spot and look at the Traveler with my Ghost, my cool armor, my ship, and just be there. Be there for something that's been there for me. And that's ultimately all I wanted to get across this video. I just have one simple request: is just hop on, show everyone that the game is still supported and cared about. And even if you don't love the game personally, even if you've fallen out of favor with it, hop on and just exist. Just be there. And even if you can't do it for you, do it for those that care about the game. And with that, I've kind of wrapped up all my thoughts. I've got nothing really left to say. So I'm sure we'll dive more deeply into this in the podcast episode coming out this coming Wednesday. Hopefully, should be this coming Wednesday. But until you all see me next, thank you all so much for watching. If you like, feel free to comment and subscribe and like the video. I'm bad at this. It's free. Also, be sure to check out our podcast, Try First Shenanigans. We upload every Wednesday decently consistently, but be sure to check that out this coming Wednesday. I'm sure there'll be a lot more thoughts and topics on that, but until then, see you all next time. Peace out, guys.